Hi everyone, I'm Autistic Ange. This is a podcast for adults who recently found out they're autistic and are looking for other autistic people like them. Today, I would like to talk about rules, kind of in like two parts. First, being rules that I will and will not follow, and then not knowing the quote rules of relationships and other things that seem like really confusing to me. So I'll start off with saying I love me some good rules. I've lived by them my whole life. I like to know when something starts and when it stops. I know all the rules for manners and politeness, and those just come naturally to me anyway. Like, I'm probably too polite, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I follow most traffic rules, except like I speed. I mean, like, who doesn't speed? Except people who are high or drunk or don't want to be caught, and the elderly or a teenager learning how to drive. Maybe somebody new to a country that also has different driving rules. But I'm pretty sure everybody else speeds. Also, I'm fairly certain that at least 95% of people don't know how to use a fucking turn signal. You're supposed to signal you're turning before you get into the turning lane, not when you are already in the lane and then turn on your signal light. Like, no shit, you're turning left. Like, did you not think I know that? Like, I see you. You're in front of me. You're already in the lane. You didn't signal to anybody that you were getting ready to go into that lane, but now you want to let people know you're turning? What the fuck? I will never understand why it is that people don't know how to use a damn turn signal. It's like, it's to indicate you're about to get into a turning lane so the car behind you knows what the fuck is going on. Ugh. I don't know. I like rules that are logical and make sense. Rules that are both spoken and assumed. Like, show up to work on time. Make sure all your work gets done when it's supposed to. Slow down to 20 miles an hour when you're in a school zone. Take your shoes off in other people's homes. Say thank you when someone does something nice for you. Be kind to the mechanic fixing whatever car issue you've got, because if you're not, they've got your car and they might forget to tighten something, and I'm speaking from personal experience on that one. I will not follow rules that don't make sense. I don't care if they're like legal or not, like if I'm breaking the law or not, like if the rule doesn't make sense, whatever. Like most of those, most of those were for like when I worked for other people. My supervisor at my last place of employment made it seem like attending the annual Christmas party was mandatory. And I got called antisocial because I wanted to stay in my office and finish my work so I could go home instead of like waste an hour not eating the shit other people made and chatting with assholes I don't even like. I mean, some I did, like 2 or 3 people maybe, but Christmas parties are not supposed to be mandatory. I mean, seriously. And like, I had been working for that place for like 4 or 5 years at that point. And I had never gone to a Christmas party before then. So like, what the fuck? Like, now you want to say something about it? Let's see. I left the Air Force after 5 years because that is all I could take of the military. When I was deployed, there were times we had to do exercises, which is basically playing pretend and practicing what we would do in times of actual war. And what I learned from these exercises is that nobody really knows what they're doing. One time we were supposed to pretend that we were being gassed, and you only get like 10 seconds or something to put your mask on or you die. So when the sirens went off, there were freaking colonels that did not get their masks on in time and apparently wanted to finish a conversation they were having before they played pretend. And, when the exercise was over, I go up to my chief and I told him what happened. And I also pointed out that he did not seem to know what he was doing either, because his mask was all fucked up and there wasn't any suction on it. So like, he'd be dead if it was like a real scenario. And I asked him, like, what's the point of doing exercises to prepare for the real thing when people, A, are not taking it seriously, or B, just don't give a shit? And, like, what's going to happen when the real thing happens? And you know what he said? He said, "Sweetie, we'll just know. We will know what to do and we will do it." And he really did call me sweetie, a fucking prick. I mean, that was like, 20 years ago? I guess you could get away with that shit back then. But anyway, on to rules I do not understand. Relationship rules are difficult for me to figure out, such as friendships. Like, how often are friends supposed to hang out? How often do I text them? Which is why I don't really have any, because they require maintaining. I'm just like not a good friend. Like I tried maintaining friendships in the past, but it was always so hard and I just did not want to. Like I would make plans on a Monday with someone to hang out on Saturday, and then Saturday comes and like I don't feel at all like I did on Monday, and like I can't be around people, so I cancel. You know, I was very flaky and unreliable in that sense. I always like felt so bad for canceling at the last minute, but like I couldn't even make myself go. Also, I do not want somebody randomly showing up at my home. I don't want people thinking they can call me whenever they feel like it. I don't want to be viewed as rude if I don't reply right away to a text, or even that same day. The thing is, like, I know I can be a lot, and I have too many of my own rules that would sound weird if I told a potential friend. Like, what am I going to say to someone? Hey, here are just a few things I need you to keep in mind if you want to be my friend. Number 1, do not call me ever. Just text. And do not expect an immediate response. Also, when we make plans, expect that 90% of the time I'll cancel the last minute for a variety of reasons. I'm too tired, I'm burned out, I can't handle being around even one single person today, I can't talk, I feel down. Like, I can't predict these things, so you'll have to be okay with that. Also, I don't want to spend very much time with you. I don't want to regularly hang out. I don't want to talk to you every day. And if I'm being honest, I don't even want to buy you a birthday present because you did not give birth to yourself, so why the fuck do you deserve a present? And don't buy me anything for my birthday either, because chances are I won't like what you buy me anyway, because you won't know me that well, because I wouldn't have told you very much about myself, which means you'll get me some shitty gift that I'll have to pretend to like, and then I re-gift it later. Like, it's so stupid. Like, I've had so many failed friendships because, like, I tried to do what I thought I was supposed to, but, like, I just didn't know what to do with friendships. Sometimes I unknowingly invited unwanted drama into my life. Like, you're a fucking mess, and I do not want this in my life. I don't have time for this shit. Until I found out I'm autistic, you know. Then things kind of shifted for me a bit. Like, until then, like, I had just thought there was something wrong with me. Like, why couldn't I just be a normal friend? Someone that likes to do all the things, be spontaneous, is fun to be around. Like, I'm none of those things. And now I know it's okay not to have friendships no matter what anybody else thinks about it. Like, I don't want them. I don't want to invest in them. Like, I can be by myself for weeks and be perfectly content. I don't get lonely, and I don't ever feel like I'm missing out on anything. It's like knowing I'm autistic is what's given me the courage and the freedom to finally just really be myself. Let's see. Restaurant rules are very confusing to me. I've only been to one since the pandemic started, but I used to go all the time. At some of them, it wasn't clear to me whether I should wait to be seated or just go sit down. Like, if I wait and I'm not supposed to, I'll just look like an idiot. And is anybody even going to come tell me to sit down? And if I go sit down when I'm supposed to wait, I look like a jerk. Like, how do people know how to do these things without thinking twice about them? When I'm at a new restaurant, the whole paying for my meal thing at the end is super confusing. Do I wait for them to bring me a receipt so I can give them my card? Do I get up and go pay? How long am I supposed to wait before I find out what I'm supposed to do? If I leave a tip on the table instead of on the receipt, is somebody else going to come along and steal the money so the server doesn't get it? Like, maybe somebody saw me trying to hide most of it under the napkin, and they're gonna get up and they're gonna snatch it when I leave. And then the server's going to think I'm a cheap bitch because they didn't get a tip. It's not like I ate at restaurants by myself. Like sometimes I'd be with people who knew what to do, and sometimes I would just have to ask them what to do. Here's my ideal restaurant situation. As soon as I go in, there's a big sign telling me what I'm supposed to do, either sit or wait to be seated. I get to have my pick of any seat in the building, in which case I will take the sectioned off area, even though it's sectioned off because they're understaffed or whatever. Give me the menu immediately. Don't ask me what I like to drink because I don't know. I need to think. Leave a button thing, one of those button things on the table that I can press so you'll know when you can come back instead of just popping by every few minutes to see if I'm ready to order. Then please bring me whatever it is I'm paying to consume and leave. Don't come back every so often and ask if I need anything. Just give me that little button and do not come back to the table until I press it. That way, I don't have to try waving someone down and hope they see me. I know you're just doing your job, but if I need something, I'll ask. And, as soon as me and whoever I'm done with are eating, I'll press the button again. You can come back and then you can tell me how I'm supposed to pay for the meal. Why can't it be that simple? Sometimes at a store, someone will comment on one of my tattoos and say something like, wow, that one's cool. And I say thank you. But am I supposed to tell them who did the tattoo? Do they even want to know? Shouldn't they ask me if they want to know who did it? My wife said it's, I guess it's normal to reply with where I got the tattoo from. I don't know how she gets it because she doesn't even have any tattoos. But those exchanges are so awkward for me because there's this silence that follows after I thank them for the compliment. And then I'm wondering, if I should have told them where I got it after all. It's just so frustrating. Ideally, thank you for your compliments, but please, can you just keep them inside your head? You don't have to say anything to me. Or just come right out and directly ask me where I got the tattoo. When I mow, there's this stretch of grass out by the sidewalk out front that goes across both our property and our neighbors. And the majority of it is on ours, but a small portion is on theirs. So I'm always wondering, all these years later, because I've lived here forever, I'm always wondering if I'm supposed to mow their part. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Would it be rude of me not to when I just got done mowing the bigger section? And what if I do mow it and they're annoyed at the grass clippings on their driveway that I didn't sweep away because I'm too lazy? I don't know. Prior to COVID, I did not know what the rules were for inviting somebody into your house. COVID is still happening, so it's a convenient excuse to keep people out. Not that we have people come over anyways, but we're good friends with one of our neighbors who's really more like family. We rented the house we're in from her for several years, and we finally just bought it last year, but we consider her family. And back when she was our landlady, she would pop over now and again, usually during the spring or summer when it's nicer out. I never knew if I was supposed to invite her in or not. So I just went out on the porch to talk to her, and then I'd be out there wondering if she would think I was rude for not inviting her in. The truth is, I did not want her to come inside because then I'm trapped and I have no idea how long she plans on staying. And if I say something to indicate that she should leave, that would be rude too. Is there anything else? Oh, there's this guy we know who lives across the street, and once a year he brings us fresh blueberries he picked. He's been doing it for years for everybody else, and we've lived here for 9 years, I think, and he started including us in on that about 3 or 4 years ago, which that was nice. I never knew, I guess I never know because I still don't know this, if I'm supposed to bring his Tupperware back to him. It doesn't have a lid ever. And he generously gives blueberries to so many neighbors that I kind of figure it doesn't matter. Also, we're not friends, so I'm not sure if I should get him something in return. But that'd be weird because he'd get something after he gave us blueberries every year. So I don't know. Finally, last year, we got him something for Christmas. And when I went to his house to give it to him, he was obviously surprised to see me because I don't go to people's houses. So I was like, Merry Christmas and thank you for the blueberries. So he knows that's why I gave him a present. Or is that rude too? Like, he only gets a present if he gets those blueberries? Like, this is fucked up. I don't know. My wife doesn't even know the rules on this either. So, like, at least it's not just me. Stores. When I am at the store and I need to get an item, but someone's cart is near what I need, and there's a purse in the seat part of the cart, I always assume people think I'm trying to steal their purse or something and like pretending to buy something near their cart. I'm pretty sure this one comes from being followed around stores by employees when I was younger, because apparently a female with a bunch of tattoos means I'll rob the place. I don't know. Like, I think it's that. I don't know if it's an autistic thing or not. In the military, my job revolved around checklists for all kinds of situations. So when something happened, I would find the corresponding checklist and I would know step by step what exactly I'm supposed to be doing. That was like one of the only things I actually liked about that job, because I always knew what to do, and so like thinking of that, like I wish there were checklists for all the stuff I just talked about and like whatever else I forgot to mention, because then I would know exactly what I'm supposed to do all the time in all the situations. Like, how is it that how do other people like not even worry about this stuff? Like, I've made it this far in life somehow, and I still don't understand this, but whatever. I think that's all I got. Yeah, I think that's all for now. So this was just me recording into an app on my phone, hoping people find me and listen to me and relate and maybe have a similar experience to what I had when I heard myself on somebody else's podcast. Thank you for listening, and okay, bye.